Hello, everyone. Today, we have a very special movie in the works about a character who has to go on a mighty quest and faces several trials and tribulations on the way to that quest. And what is that quest? It's simply to go home. That's right. We are, once again, talking about the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Woo! Got him! We're back.
We are so back. Just kidding. We're talking about the Odyssey. Ooh. We're anti-woke chuds.
Oh, brother.
Hi, I'm Tanner Richard Kraft.
Hi, I'm Austin Chobani Papadopoulos of the Taziki region.
I am John Goodman with an eye patch.
And I'm Cody Suizo, the reverse Cyclops. I got too many eyes.
Oh, shit.
Boo. I'm an anti-woke chud. Boo.
We can't, no.
Boo, they cast minorities in this movie. Boo. The Greek people don't know what non-whites are. That's what these people sound like. We're talking about the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's newest movie. Might be his biggest movie. Definitely his Sword and Sandals movie. It's a movie. There's a Matt Damon in it. Is this the ultimate? Matt Damon is a genre of movie in the sense that there's a lot of movies where Matt Damon needs to get home. Interstellar, The Martian, Saving Private Ryan. Is this the ultimate Matt Damon needs to get home movie? Find out more on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Just kidding right now. What are everyone's overall... This is such an epic movie that we really don't have time for an opening question. It has nothing to do with the fact that I forgot to write one. So we're just going to get right into it.
My dad is coming home. Bringing vengeance. Bringing it all.
We're starting with the person who I didn't know had even seen the movie. Cody, what are your thoughts on the Odyssey?
What do you mean you didn't know I seen the movie? What kind
You usually tell us. I must have missed it.
Oh, I've been pretty bad at telling you guys. My bad. I'm fucked up and evil now. The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan. We've talked good Christopher Nolan on this show before. I was on the Inception episode, and I love Inception. And so when I heard that Christopher Nolan was adapting the Odyssey, I was actually initially I was kind of surprised. Christopher Nolan kind of... sorry, I'm losing my train of thought already. Great person to choose first, by the way. Nolan kind of felt like the reverse Robert Eggers, where I feel like he would just never do anything like pre-1940s, 50s. Like, I feel like he was just contemporary shit only. That just gave me the vibe of him.
This man never saw The Prestige.
Then, did he already do it and I'm stupid? Ooh.
It's not that long ago. They had electricity. David
Fair.
Bowie was there.
It was pre-1940, though, I think.
Okay, but I wouldn't say, oh yeah, Nolan's gonna direct some story from thousands of years ago. He wasn't my first pick.
Sure, yeah.
But, he was a pretty well-chosen pick. I think The Odyssey delivers in its promise of being this giant, big old spectacle. It's a long movie, which for once I'm not going to complain about, because if I went to see a movie called The Odyssey and complained it was long, boy, what a sucker am I, right? Oh, jeez. Because I'm just like, all the scenes are kind of coming back to me, like war flashbacks now. It's just, yeah, like, Matt Damon, Matt Damon's great in this, by the way. I mean that's pretty obvious. They want to, he's been in plenty of Nolan films, so he's a good pick as a DCS. I really liked his journey. I think the cast overall was pretty good. I didn't have really issue with everyone. Everyone did their part pretty well. Pretty well. I actually didn't realize that Benny Sappi was I don't even know how to say the name.
Agamemnon.
Oraman?
Yeah.
He was Oraman?
Yeah, Oraman. it's just weird to see that he played that and then Bowser Jr. There's just two different vibes. That's why I'm wearing the hat. It all connects. No, because I'm being silly. One of my favorite parts of this movie actually is the score. The score is fucking fantastic. It was one of the few, like, you know, usually I like when scores compliment a film, and I usually give them their flowers, but like this, it's so good that it just takes up like all of my thoughts. I would just listen to this album as is. It's such a great, fantastic score. Good old Ludwig here. He just makes fantastic fucking music. He could make The Mandalorian Grogu go from a mediocre movie to an awesome movie because his music is pretty good. But I will say though, even though, you know, obviously it's the Odyssey, it's gonna be long, it does take a good bit to really pick up. Like, I'd say first hour is a little rough. Everything up until like you get to like the side. Once you get to the Cyclops, you're like, ooh, spectacle! I like this. I clap and I clap. But oh man, once you get to that forest with those fucking giants, I was on the edge of my fucking seat. The action, the practical effects. You know, this movie, you know, it hails its practical effects. You know, it looks all fantastic, and then everything from there on out is just like, it's such a wonderful journey. It's so visually pleasing, you know, because obviously this is one of the, I think like the first movie to be shot entirely on IMAX? I think that was like a big thing.
Correct. That was the thing. It's the first movie to be shot entirely in IMAX 70mm film.
Which you can definitely, now I didn't see it in IMAX because I'm a pleb, but even seeing it on a normal screen, you can just tell it looks visually rich in every single scene. Regardless of story, it's definitely probably one of the best looking films of the year, and I still think it's narratively one of the best films of the year. I liked this film a lot. I think the only thing I could complain about, and I don't know how to explain my issue with it, it's got to do something with the dialogue. I don't know if it's the acting or the script itself or what they're pulling from, but sometimes that dialogue is pretty clunky. Especially in the early stages when it's mainly just talking and not as much spectacle. So
that's the Chris Nolan special, baby. That's
the Chris Nolan special, and I haven't noticed it that much in other films. But maybe it's just because now he's working with a much older source material. Again, I don't know, but it does take me out a few times. But overall, I think this is a fantastic movie, and I can't wait to talk about it more in general discussion. Back to you, Tanner.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. Let's go to the person who just finished watching it again a few hours ago. Tim, what did you think of The Odyssey?
Yeah, so I just saw it for the second time. Me and my wife went to see it in 70mm on opening weekend. Not IMAX 70mm, just regular 70mm, but that's still cool. I like watching stuff on film when I can, and getting to see this on 70mm was cool. And then I just saw it again right before recording on IMAX, because you gotta see the Nolan movie on IMAX, especially the movie that was shot in IMAX. And, you know, some people may like, well, the screen you went to was actually IMAX because it's not the full frame. Shut the fuck up, dipshit. I don't give a shit. It's still cool.
That is correct, though.
I don't care. It's still cool. But, yeah, no, this is... I mean, they've been teasing this movie since, 2024? It's been built up for a long time. You know, Christopher Nolan, the guy who has made all these epic films, is now adapting like the original epic story, and he's making the epic to end all epics. So you know you're going in for something big and grand and spectacular, and it definitely delivers. It's really, really solid. I think, and this isn't an issue with the movie, it's more just an issue with me. I think the movie is really strong in scenes, but I think buckles under the weight of its own scale a little bit when it gets past the first half. Like, and I think the last hour is all really solid too. It's just like this specific section in like hour 30 to maybe 2 hour mark where I'm just
Like the middle?
not quite the middle, like just past the middle before it gets into like the third act, where I'm just kind of like, all right, let's land the plane. That's just my experience watching it, but it's full of a lot of excellent scenes. I'm actually kind of the opposite of Cody, where like I really like all the stuff in the first half. That's where I'm just like locked in. I'm having a great time, and then once it gets to the end, I'm locked in again. But yeah, a lot of great scenes, and just scenes. Because I'm sure that in some literature class, in some grade, I've read the Odyssey, or at least read excerpts of it, but like I don't remember the full story. I just remember the greatest hits that get referenced in pop culture throughout time, like the Cyclops story and the Siren songs and the Trojan Horse. And seeing all those executed in this movie, I thought were great. And since they're such iconic pieces of fiction, Nolan had like a hefty task ahead of him to like make it interesting and unique to a new audience. And I think he did that well. Yeah, the Cyclops scene is great. Austin, you were posting about this on Blue Sky. They're doing that thing. They're doing that thing where they try to pretend there's no VFX and it's just practical effects. But if you look at the behind the scenes photos, it's absolutely being enhanced by visual effects and CGI. And so they need to shout the flowers for the people doing the hard work to make that thing fucking seamless, because it looks so good. Yeah, I do like the score. I don't think I love it as much as the rest of you. I do think it's a good Ludwig score, but it does, just kind of feel like another Ludwig doing a Nolan movie score. It does its job. It's very good, but not a favorite of mine. But overall, this is an excellent film. I'm glad I got to see it twice. If I'm feeling froggy, I might go a third time, because I think the IMAX just opened up a couple more screenings, like next week or the week after. So I might pop into one of those, because if I'm feeling up to it, why not just see it in like proper IMAX, just for the fuck of it. Good movie. See it on the biggest screen you can. Back to you, Tanner.
So, Tim, let me just tell you something. I did see this movie at the IMAX, and unless they fixed it, for some weird fucking reason, the Science Center isn't showing it in full IMAX. It's showing it in the same aspect ratio that Ronnie's has. It's a bigger screen, but it's still not the full ratio, which is weird. Austin and I saw Oppenheimer there a few years ago, and like it would touch the very bottom of the screen. It never touches the very bottom of the screen when I saw the Odyssey. It was very weird. I don't know what was going on.
And I probably won't.
Yeah, I just figured I'd put it out there. I felt really bummed out that our screen that is capable of showing it in the right aspect ratio for some fucking reason isn't. Also, it showed 2 trailers. Dune, which admittedly I think also never went the full touch the bottom of the screen, and the other trailer it showed was Project Hail Mary, and it said coming this March, and I just kind of sat there next to my dad like,
It did.
Someone messed up that order.
It sure did.
Is this all you got? Did you forget to play this before? Because at first I was like, oh, are they finally playing it here? And then as it ended, I was like, oh, no, they just, what the fuck was that?
Damn. DCP was packaged by someone's fucking grandma. Can't keep track of
It was horse shit. What happened to me was horse shit, and I blame Cody Suiso. Austin, what are your thoughts on the Odyssey?
To add to the OmniMax conversation, OmniMax, an OmniMax screening was what got Christopher Nolan into IMAX. I think he was like 16 in Chicago. It was a museum, and they showed Ring of Fire in OmniMax. And when he was, like a teenager, he went to that OmniMax screening and was like, I gotta film a movie like this someday. So seeing the Odyssey and OmniMax would kind of complete the circle, but also, yeah, they need to show it in 143. That's way too big a screen for 190. That's fucking. I hope they get the right copy.
I'm not crazy. When we saw Oppenheimer, when it was 143, it like touched the very bottom of the canvas, right?
Yes, it did. I remember that.
Even where it like kind of curves at the bottom, it touches that bottom.
Yes.
Never happened here.
That's a shame, especially since this is the first movie that's in 143 the whole time. So that might be better at the OmniMax because you're not, dealing with the aspect ratio switches. Shit. Regarding this. It looks like Nolan has reached the James Cameron phase of his career, where he's divined some way to consistently make like $1 billion by dropping the same type of movie repeatedly. Except instead of Dances with Wolves in space, Nolan's dropping stone-cold classics about a protagonist whose life is fucking ruined because he invented some new thing that ended a war. And you know that both of those guys are having the IMAX Corporation just fucking tossing money at them like APAC during a local government race where a Muslim guy is running. Yeah, my whole thing with this movie is I'm actually really glad I saw it twice. Of the 14 feature films we have gotten from Sir Christopher Edward Nolan, The Odyssey might be, his best reviewed picture yet, or at least it was for a very long time. It has like an 88 on Metacritic, Jesus, and a fucking 94% certified fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes, not that that site matters. So when I went into that premium large format theater opening weekend, I thought it was really safe to assume this movie would have me like fully locked in for the entire runtime. Like The Dark Knight did. I figured when the lights went up, I'd be going, oh shit, I was not ready for that to end. Like The Dark Knight did. Alas, during my first trip on the boat, the opening felt a little bit shaky, and I eventually did end up checking my watch sometime in the third act. I felt like I got my money's worth, no doubt. But there were sections here and there that like broke the spell and made me feel like I was running a fucking marathon. Christopher Nolan is no Edward Yang. $5 to anyone who gets that. And even Britain's most famous film critic, Mark Kermode, said this movie could stand to lose like 20 minutes. But then I went back, and I watched it again in a standard theater with open captions, and I had a completely different experience. It felt like watching one of those timeless classics like Chinatown or Seven Samurai. Rewatching this film, knowing what characters are important and knowing like the general shape of the journey, like how long I'm going to be stuck in certain scenes, really improved my experience. Now, that is me admitting I think this is a stone cold genre-defining fucking masterpiece, but like with an asterisk. Certain things are introduced or presented in this film in such a way where they might slip past you on a first watch and not have you feeling the full impact of certain shit that's going on. For example, when they were showing Sinan's backstory with the lottery, I was like, oh yeah, nice, backstory for Odysseus or maybe Antinous. I really did not put together that little boy was Sinan, because they didn't use the substance to create a younger clone of him like they did with Robert Pattinson's fucking clavicular ass stand-in. I can't even say that dude's name. I was genuinely surprised that Sinan ended up being as important as he was on my first watch. Mia Goth. There's that line, it gets paid off later, where she's trying to fuck over Anne Hathaway but like hiding some shit from her, and she tries to get her to go back up in the chamber, or something to the effect of like, surely your place is up there. She then gets locked in with the suitors during Odysseus' homecoming, and Anne Hathaway like drops it on her. She's like, surely your place is down there, before slamming the door shut. All of these moments of Anne Hathaway like being suspicious towards her character got buried in the noise on my first watch. I thought nothing of the like, surely your place is up there line, so the callback just fucking whoosh right by me. Most embarrassingly, when Odysseus is reunited with Argos, the dog, they were so understated with the tail wagging. I didn't see that shit happen the first time. I am all for subtlety, but I genuinely missed one of the most emotionally powerful moments of the movie because they toned it down too much. They were like, just wiggle his tail a little, it'll be fine. They know the story. I don't. Fuck. Now, that all said, on a rewatch, I got to pay attention to the little details and really grew to appreciate the screenplay. The Odyssey is kind of like The Sixth Sense, or The Prestige, where knowing what to look for really enhanced the experience, at least for me. Don't get me wrong, there are things that Nolan could have done to make those beats more detectable on my first watch, but this was like such a heavy lift for everybody involved. There was no chance that this would also be the film that fixes Nolan's usual clarity issues. And, of course, I would be struck down by lightning if I didn't mention that almost all of the grand set pieces work extremely well. The Siege of Troy is so good, they give it to you strategically in fragments like the shark in Jaws. The whole Cyclops scene, that's electric. And the sound design of his scream sounded like nothing I've ever heard before in my fucking life. And I finally had one of those religious moments that I talk about here, where it feels like you get tunnel vision and the movie is your reality now. During the scene where the ship crew were killed for eating the sun god's cattle. It finally fucking happened. Small nitpicks. The CGI Hydra did not make as much of an impression as the other monsters. And the soundtrack, during the Trojan horse scene, it picked up too quickly and then tried to hold that obnoxious climactic tempo for 5 minutes straight. It was like a shepherd's tone. The shepherd was Metallica. And yeah, that really sums it up for me. I enjoyed this movie just as much as everybody else did, but it took me 2 tries. It's this colossal achievement for everybody involved. Since Oppenheimer drew criticism for basically being a glorified chamber drama shot on IMAX film, this feels like Nolan's loudest possible rebuttal. So yeah, I'm giving it after everything a 9.5 out of 10. Back to you, Tanner.
Great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, I love this movie. Boy, what a long time coming. When they first announced that, when it was obvious that Nolan was being given the blankest check in film history, after Oppenheimer almost made $1 billion as an R-rated biopic that's half in black and white and won Best Picture, it was like, all right, he can do whatever he wants forever now. Cool. And I remember some of the rumors that came about. So we knew Matt Damon and Tom Holland were 2 of the main characters. That was one of the first things we found out about the movie. But then it was confusing about what it was. The first thing I remember hearing was that it was going to be Nolan's first horror movie. It was going to be a period piece, and it was going to have vampires. That was the first thing I remember hearing. The second thing I remember hearing was that Christopher Nolan was finally going to do an adaptation. Let me rephrase that. Finally. Was going to do an adaptation of the 60s British spy series The Prisoner.
That show whips.
Which, by the way, Nolan was attached to doing such a movie in 2009 after The Dark Knight. So it wasn't without precedent. Then the last one I remember hearing was it was going to be a helicopter movie, which I distinctly remember this right before it was announced that he was doing the Odyssey. I remember the last rumor was it's definitely a helicopter movie, and it was specifically a reboot of the 1983 movie Blue Thunder, a movie I'm sure none of you have ever heard of.
So what?
It's a helicopter movie. It stars Roy Schneider. Malcolm McDowell has a small part in it. It wasn't exactly a big deal. It was just kind of crazy that it got turned into, oh yeah, the helicopter movie made by the director of War Games. And yeah, that's the guy that's his next movie. He's going to remake that helicopter movie. What? And then it was the Odyssey. And I'm like, oh, he's decided that it's up to him to tackle the fictional story, arguably. The Odyssey is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, fictional story we have of good record. Side note, did the term the Odyssey exist before the Odyssey? Or did Homer just kind of make a movie, or did Homer make a poem called The Journey with its main character being named Jonathan?
Yeah, we all saw that tweet, Tanner.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it. So now it's my joke.
And since you say it louder, you're gonna get all the attention now.
Yeah, all 7 viewers.
Woo!
Yeah. So finally, hearing he was going to tackle on that, which first off, hearing that he was going to tack on like a fantasy, Nolan for most of his career has been like a sci-fi guy. So like it was quite interesting to see him tackle the Odyssey. And what did they think? Yeah, I fucking loved it. Did I love this as much as some of Nolan's other work? No. I would still say my top 3 is Oppenheimer, Dunkirk, and Inception, and then probably The Dark Knight is 4th, and I'd probably place this 5th. That's probably where I'm at. It's still fantastic, obviously. I still gave it 5 stars. I fucking love it. I generally agree with Austin and Cody. I think the first half, it's not even necessarily that the first half is slow. It's more just that the scene where John Leguizamo, who I can only assume is playing Luigi from the Mario movie, when John Leguizamo asks, coming back for vengeance, and Matt Damon, Odysseus responds with coming back for it all. That's when I hit one of the lean-ins in the theater. I dead-ass started leaning in, and I did not stop leaning in for like the next hour. I was locked the fuck in. Nolan really plays to blockbuster tendencies in a way that I didn't know if he's obviously done this before. There are a lot of moments in this movie that feels like the classic people go woo moments. My mind keeps racing back to specifically the scene where he kills the suitors, and he does the thing where he does a little quick whoop to warn them. I keep thinking back to that, how it's played musically, and how Robert Pattinson is just like fucking third wheeling the whole fight. Feels like a guy. It kind of feels like you're playing a video game, and then the fucking Navi or whatever is like, get the shield, get the shield, get the spear, get the spear.
No, that moment is when they're going, it's the friggin' bat!
It's the bat! It does kind of feel like that. I do like that Leslie Odom Jr., I believe that's Leslie Odom Jr., gets fucking shot in the neck. Counting or not counting gang violence. It's a good bit. And just that whole fight sequence is incredible. Really brilliant. God, I just can't stop thinking about the third act. And also just the structure of the Odyssey is funny. This is present in the Homer. In the poem by Homer. Oh, homie. In the poem by Homer, this is present, which is that Odysseus goes to an island, some fucked up shit happens, and they go, get back on the boat! Get back on the boat! Me personally, after the Cyclops thing, every fucking island we go to after that, if I'm on Odysseus' crew and they say, let's get off this boat, I go, fuck you, no. Last time you asked me to get off the boat, I saw Frank get eaten by a giant monster with one eye. Fuck you. I'm staying here. Which would be the correct decision considering they get attacked by 6-foot-tall little girls and their parents. They get turned into pigs, and some other crazy shit happens. I think it does an excellent job at depicting all these things that I know from the Odyssey originally. I think I read it in middle school, but it also might have been the Iliad I read. I don't remember. Something to keep in mind is that the Iliad and the Odyssey are the first 2 parts of a 10-part series that have been lost to the sands of time, probably when the Library of Alexandria burned down.
Damn.
I think this is Matt Damon's best work since Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
He nails it. He nails every aspect of it. He nails the weight. He nails the gravity. And he, of course, nails the line delivery of coming for it all. I appreciate that they grounded the movie in fairly modern language. I think that allows it to be easily digestible. You're not trying to, like, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I watch a period piece and they're like, we're going to do accurate period piece talk, I feel like I have to, and movies do this that I love. Nosferatu did this. I love Nosferatu, the Robert Eggers one. But it sort of just becomes this thing where I find myself going, what the fuck does that mean in today's terms? I don't have to do that here. You can argue that's a bad thing or a good thing. I think that since Nolan is trying to make an accessible blockbuster, even if it's R-rated and crazy, that's a good thing. This is so here's the funny thing. If we were recording this podcast, say 8 days ago, what I would say next is that I think this is Tom Holland's best performance ever. I'll get into this in a couple of weeks in a different episode, but I no longer think that. But I do think Tom Holland is really great here. He's playing it's good that a 30-year-old can still kind of play that boyish charm, because it allows him to handle the beginning and the ends of the movie with perfection. He is really an important cog in this movie, and I feel like a lot of people are just overlooking him because I feel like they've kind of programmed themselves to not take Holland seriously as an actor, which I do, and I think he's great here. Anne Hathaway probably getting another Oscar nomination, but if you want to talk about the fucking 5-minute heat check scene stealing performance that's only in one scene, or I guess one sequence, it's gotta be Samantha Morton, right? The way when she's turning those people into pigs, the way she portrays the clear PTSD and trauma she's suffering from, while still being kind of intimidating and scary in her own right, but still being vulnerable. It's really impressive work. That is not easy to do. What she is doing is really remarkable, and it's a shame that the Academy doesn't really nominate 5-minute performances that often, unless they're trying to screw over Paul Dano for some reason.
Damn.
See The Fabelmans when Judd Hirsch got nominated for just going, "Hey, look at me, I'm your crazy grandpa, goodbye." Well, Paul Dano does incredible work in that movie. Not the point. Samantha Morton's incredible. I really want to shout out Hamish Patel. He's not really present in the marketing that much. He wasn't really on the press circuit, I think, because he's busy filming something else. He is arguably the second lead in most of the Odysseus scenes. He is really remarkable as sort of the counterweight to Odysseus, while also being the guy that's trying to be there for him. I really like him. Odysseus' crew in general is great. Lupita Nyong'o, couple scene wonder, she's great. Elliot Page, really fantastic. Really, really fantastic. Not as Troy. Troy's not in the fucking Odyssey, people. He's not in that story. He kind of is, but it's not really the point. He's in the Iliad. The Iliad's about Troy. Achilles.
There we go.
Achilles. Not Troy. Achilles. I was confusing. I in my face, I just saw Brad Pitt with the word Troy tattooed on his forehead.
To be fair,
so I was like, yeah, that's the character's name.
To be fair, Elliot Page is also not Troy.
He is not Troy Bolton from High School Musical. I agree.
He's not Troy from Community.
He's not that. He is really remarkable as Sinon, I believe.
Sinon,
yeah.
I believe that's how you say it. Not Achilles. I think he's really great. He doesn't have that many scenes, but he really shines in those scenes. John Leguizamo, Oscar nom for this movie, hopefully. This is maybe the only movie in existence where a character that throws a puppy off a mountainous cliff is still beloved at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
This is our introduction to him, by the way. Like, one of the first fucking things we see him do is throw a goddamn puppy off the cliff.
Nah, not this one.
He's like, fuck this dog. I'm just like, what the hell? What did he do?
Just
What the
so
fuck?
casually, basket of puppies.
You guys don't do that? It really speaks to how much of a warm, humanizing presence he is, that he's able to accomplish that despite, again, chucking a fucking puppy off a cliff. Robert Pattinson is such an amazing, sniveling little shit. I think my favorite piece of acting from him in this movie is when he's talking to Anne Hathaway and he like almost convinces her that she does need to pick a suitor and that suitor should be him. He almost gets her and he's like, but what about my son? What about my son, Tom Holland? And he goes, well, of course he'd still be heir. But then he just can't help himself and say, unless we have one of our own. And in that split split second when Anne Hathaway reacts and that split second acting of Robert Pattinson, it's literally the epitome of that thing where like freezes and it's like, in this moment, he knew he fucked up. He plays it perfectly. Mia Goth's in this movie, by the way. The first couple of times she showed up, I thought to myself, man, that lady looks a lot like Mia Goth. And then the third or fourth time she showed up, I went, wait a fucking minute, that is just Mia Goth.
I know that no eyebrow having face anywhere.
It's crazy. I honestly just think, I'm going to be honest, I saw a woman that didn't have eyebrows and I went, looks like Mia Goth. You could have showed me like a 7 foot tall Amazonian big blonde hair lady, and if she had no eyebrows, it'd be like, yeah, Mia Goth. But it actually was Mia Goth. She's good. I like her. Whose praises have I not sung yet? God, the entire ensemble is fantastic. It's just really fantastic acting. It's really fantastic blocking. Zendaya is amazing in this. Fuck, how could I forget that? It's again, she doesn't have that many scenes, but she really nails the scene she's in. Charlize Theron is in this movie way more than you think she'd be, judging from the marketing. If you know the character she's playing, of course she'll be in the story a lot, especially the way Nolan likes to play with time in his movies. She's spectacular. God, just really brilliant all around. I think it looks amazing. Every dollar's on the screen. God, just what a remarkable picture that I'm sure we'll have more to say after a brief commercial break. See you for general discussion.
Oh, beggar, wait here. I'll get you some food.
No, it's me, Odysseus. I'm back.
Dad? Dad!
Son.
Where have you been?
It's a long story. I'll tell you later.
Welcome back from that brief commercial break for another commercial. See that shit? That's a movie palette. That one's for the movie Punch Drunk Love. Takes the primary color of every frame of the movie, slices it up the lines, puts it on your palette for your viewing pleasure. Punch Drunk Love. Tim's pointing one for the movie Mandy. Go to moviepalette.com. You can find the palette of your choosing there. For the Odyssey, I'm sure it'll be up there at some point. And if your favorite movie isn't on there, for a little extra money, you can get one custom made. So go to moviepalette.com, add the palette to your cart, enter the code SQUAD15 while you're checking out to save 50% on your order. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to the show. I'd like to issue a correction. Earlier, I referred to as a character as Leslie Odom Jr. I don't know why I said that. It was Corey Hawkins. And I knew that. I don't know what happened in my brain. They don't look alike. I don't know what happened.
Some boo this man. Boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato.
I think it's because Corey Hawkins was in The Heights, and Lin-Manuel Miranda made that. Lin-Manuel Miranda made Hamilton. Leslie Odom Jr. plays Aaron Burr in Hamilton, and through some fucked up wiring, something got crossed.
And the prom's tomorrow.
And I'm Greg Nart.
Yo.
So did you guys know that the Dolphins, when they first set sail for Troy and the Dolphins show up, that wasn't planned? Those Dolphins just showed up?
Yeah, they had
like in real life.
Spontaneous moments like that. Have you heard the story about the rainbow?
Oh, I have not.
Isn't the point of this story is that a rainbow shows up and Chris Nolan goes, God damn it, now I have to wait for this rainbow to go away?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So they were filming the scene, I think, where Odysseus makes it back to Ithaca, and there was this big, gorgeous rainbow, and everybody was like, wow, and he was like, fuck, we can't have a rainbow in this shot, so he passed up some of one of the things you can't simulate easily, because he's an uptight British motherfucker. I could not believe it. I mean, it would have been really funny to Zendaya just being like, don't you recognize home? And then it's just like a Care Bears illustration. But still, they got so lucky they passed up on it.
It's so unfortunate that what they were filming, it honestly would not have worked.
No, Nolan's just like, no, my movie has to be blues and oranges.
Blues and oranges only.
If it wasn't for the fact that it's like the scene where he's coming home to see that his home is now basically in ruin.
Yeah.
3?
It's like if you fucking. Here's what I'll say. It's like if you made a movie about 9/11 and in the shot where you see a plane hit the South Tower, there's a fucking rainbow in the background. That wouldn't feel right, would it? Wouldn't that feel weird?
You just hear Every Time We Touch by Cascada.
It's like if instead of the plane crashing into the South Tower, it's a fucking Nyan cat.
Oh god, in the 9/11 time loop movie that we eventually make, we need to make it like at the end he thinks it's gonna happen again, but there's a rainbow, and the plane just flies right past it, and it instead gets like a fucking Quiznos or something.
Not the Quiznos.
So the ultimate solution to 9/11 is it has to crash into a Quiznos?
We can do
This
better.
is
It's
the
Sbarro.
Austin, you
This
forgot
anti-Italian
the trolley
discrimination.
problem.
Osama bin Laden's manifesto was, I can't fucking stand their sandwiches.
We've just started general discussion, by the way.
Yeah, we're talking about the Office.
What movie are we talking about, by the way? Blue Thunder. That's right. We're talking about Blue Thunder.
Oh my
Days
God.
of Thunder.
So you did.
Days of Thunder 2 is coming.
What?
Tanner, you did say that like one of the things they were saying this was going to be was Nolan's first horror movie, and like I do remember after this came out and people were seeing it, just the reactions to the pig scene. People like just like, yeah, let Christopher Nolan make a fucking horror movie. That shit was terrifying, and like I watched Batman Begins in a theater 21 years ago as a 12-year-old boy, and that shit scared the ever-loving fuck out of me. Nolan has been doing horror for a long time. Let him do a proper horror movie.
Yeah, I do think he should do a horror movie. Something I want to bring up, though. Tim, I thought it was interesting that you kind of just described it as another Johansson score for Nolan, only because that this is, by Nolan's request, radically different from the past two scores he did for him. There is no orchestra. No traditional orchestra in the score of this movie. He uses entirely traditional Greek instruments to make the score, which I think is really, really cool. I love it when composers... Ludwig is really good about doing that. Because here's the thing. There are composers like Hans Zimmer and Alan Silvestri and John Williams that are excellent composers, but you can... It's almost like they force their style to work into the movie. Ludwig is the kind of guy who can adjust his style to work best for the movie. Both are fine, mind you. I'm not trying to say Ludwig Johansson is better than John Williams.
Are you trying to say John
do not
Williams
put
piece of
that
shit?
in the paper. I am trying to say that.
Oh no!
Get this man.
Kill him!
Do not put in the papers that I hate John Williams.
They used a liar.
I think Coolsville sucks.
Ooh, they used a lyre for the, like, when Odysseus does the bow thing. They used a lot of lyre in this, and they also used this other instrument where it's, like, two clarinets that go like, diagonally, and I just was like, wow, no shit, the Greeks invented an instrument that's like this. That makes so much fucking sense. It's actually pretty cool. They brought in this lady to play that instrument. Yeah, a lot of sounds in this movie you're not going to hear otherwise.
That is just one of Ludwig's strengths, is that his center score sounds really different from his Oppenheimer score, sounds really different from his score for Tenet, sounds really different from his score for both Black Panther movies, sounds really different from his score here. When Ludwig scores a movie, it's amazing. He also made some of Childish Gambino's best music. I'm just saying. The guy has it. If he wins another Oscar for this, hell yeah. When I walked out of this movie, I think I thought I said this was Ludwig's best work with Nolan. Given some time to cool off, I still think his Oppenheimer score is not just his better work with Nolan. I still think that's my favorite score of his period.
Yeah.
I listen to Can You Hear the Music like once a week.
I mean, that's like a masterpiece of a song there.
It's perfect.
I'm
But
a sinner's boy.
if you weren't too impressed with the score, that's fine, Tim, obviously. I'm just saying it is interesting because they really wanted to make it very unique. But maybe that limitation hindered him.
I think the instrumentation is interesting. I don't know. It's just something about the way scores for Nolan movies tend to like ramp up, kind of like what Austin was talking about. There's just a particular way that tends to happen. But I mean, it is good, and I do like Ludwig. You make a good music.
And I'm really happy that that's who Nolan primarily works with now. The other guy has made good music when working for Nolan, but imagine if you were watching the Odyssey, and in the middle, and instead of that wonderful lyre beat that you get when he pulls the string back, instead of hearing that nice subtle note, you just hear.
Yeah, just the Inception.
Just fucking Hans Zimmer smashing the keyboard.
The entire electro suite from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 happens during the Lystrogonian scene.
You fucking imagine the fucking one where Electro's just like, the Electro suite, like Electro's theme song? You mean the one where it has fucking singing and it's just like, he lied to me, he hated on me.
That's the one! You got it!
Funny as fuck. Oh my, people always like sing the praises of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 score. I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna go out there and say it. Most of the score for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 sucks.
God damn.
The Amazing Spider-Man 1, on the other hand, is really good, and there's a fucking reason No Way Home used the TASM 1 theme and not the TASM 2 theme.
I saw both of those movies in a theater more than 10 years ago, and that is the only time I saw those movies.
You can keep it that way.
I plan to.
Can we talk about the Chud reaction? That's been kind of funny. A little bit of shot.
It's been so funny that these Chuds are like, go woke, go broke, and instead it's go woke.
Making billions of dollars.
Grossing R-rated movie ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a little silly. Like, you know what? I'm taking a stand. The Nolan movie's gonna fail. Okay.
It's the most like, you're not in reality with us.
Yeah.
You don't live in the real world. You don't.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Even if this movie sucked, it was still gonna make at minimum $800 million. Because here's the thing. Here's the fascinating thing. A movie like this that is gonna be $1 billion grosser. Lots of companies do surveys and tracking of audience sentiment on the opening weekend of movies. For a movie that is opened over $100 million, I don't think any movie in U.S. box office history that has opened at over $100 million had 51% of the respondents say the reason they came to see it is because of the director. 51%. That is more than fucking half.
Wow.
That's true.
Because here's the thing. I remember in college, I used to tell people, well, there's not really movie stars anymore. There are director stars. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there are some directors that have a good baseline minimum that that means investing in their projects are usually a safe bet. I think Quentin Tarantino is one of those directors. I think David Fincher is one of those directors. I think even Disclosure Day maybe only just broke even. I still think Spielberg for his blockbusters is still one of those directors. Christopher Nolan is a movie star.
He's the top of them, I think. I think his name sells the most tickets of any director, which is wild with Spielberg and Scorsese out in the fray.
Yeah, there is something that Nolan has managed to accomplish that, and it might just be because he made a Batman movie that like even the film snobs liked. It might literally just be that. I don't know.
He managed to make that intersection of like popcorn movie guy and cinephile. He did that perfectly.
Which is fascinating because, and I love Nolan's work. I think he is a brilliant director. He is a very simple director, I think. Think of a Nolan movie. Can you really recall ultra complex camera movements?
Okay, camera movements. He uses complex camera movements. Not so much in this because they had a fucking fridge that they had to bring around to get.
Yeah, that's part of it. He's being limited by that. I don't think when I think of a Chris Nolan movie, maybe there are some complex camera movements, but I don't think he usually goes that nuts like maybe other directors do.
It's grounded.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons you like his movies.
It's very different.
It's more
I'm
the
not trying
production.
to say it's lesser. I'm saying it's different.
I think it's more the production than necessarily the camera that is.
Yeah, he definitely likes putting it all on the screen. I know why studios love him. Every movie he's ever made, he has delivered it under budget and ahead of schedule.
Warner Brothers has to be so fucking mad right now. Every film he's done post WB, leaving there, made like $1 billion fucking dollars.
Not to mention,
what?
not to mention that like WB's slate this year has. Warner Brothers had a great year last year at the box office. Warner Brothers is not having a good year at the box office this year.
Surely not.
I think their highest grossing movie is Supergirl.
Don't say that. Please say it ain't so, Tanner.
No, but Coyote v. Acme's gonna make $80 billion more.
Not a Warner Brothers distribution, though, is the
you're
problem.
right.
But it's gonna make $80 billion more, though.
Since it's not under Warner Bros., it has to be a billion buster. Please.
We have to do like the GameStop thing where everyone goes to see Coyote versus Acme just to make David Zaslav grit his teeth in his sleep.
Let's see it at least 3 times in theaters.
I think I need to let you guys know something. As I'm sure I've told you guys before, I'm a bit of a box office nerd. I like tracking stuff. I also acknowledge that box office is not any way a reflection of quality. I just find it interesting as a shifting target of measuring audience trends, and also math is cool. We're in the point now where Coyote versus Acme, we have box office tracking, we can track pre-sales, we can track audience sentiment, and get a good idea of the range in which it's going to open at the box office. And let me tell you, it has a wide range, anywhere from $3 to $8 million in the entire opening weekend.
Damn.
And I'm gonna be there, baby.
And that's all me. That's all me. Like I said, Daddy Big Dick went alone. That'll be me. I'll be there.
Tanner pulling a fucking Sound of Freedom with Coyote versus Acme. That's gonna be great. Jesus Christ. Another thing, you guys, I think Chris Nolan is trying to ruin Matt Damon's marriage. You guys heard about this?
Oh yeah, the thing where like right before Oppenheimer, he says, "I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna take a break, babe. I promise, I'm gonna take a break."
Oh
babe.
yeah, I did hear about.
And then unless one guy calls, Chris Nolan, and then Chris Nolan called, and then he called again.
Yep.
Except he was in a Ben Affleck movie earlier this year, but like that's his boyfriend, so I guess that doesn't count.
Yeah, he's in
Always
the
an
marriage.
exception.
But that's something. Like, maybe Nolan read that Variety story, like, the first time it was coincidence they called him right after he's like, I'm gonna be home with the kids more. But then, after he read that Variety story, he's like, I'm gonna make the longest shoot of my fucking life, and this guy's gonna be the lead. Fuck you, Luciana. I'm taking Matt from you. Apparently, Nolan went around telling everybody how difficult the movie was gonna be. And Matt Damon's response was like, "Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a tough shoot." And Nolan just kind of leaned in and was like, "No, you don't know how tough it's gonna be." Just fucking would not fucking stop until Matt was like, "Okay, I don't know how tough it's gonna be." I think, and that story going around, Rob Pattinson was the only one who asked to read the script. That's another little thing going round about this. Everybody else was just like, "Yeah, you got me." And then Pattinson was like, can you please show me the script? I need to know that I get to fucking say a slur in this. And instead, they swapped out that slur for the word beggars. The way he says the
Somebody
word
get these beggars out of here!
There's a
saw
mind move
you-
attached to that.
I saw a YouTube comment that said he said the word beggars the way some people say slurs, and it made work for me all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I've seen the edits.
And there's so many memes coming out of this movie. If you go on Twitter, it's like Anne Hathaway looking all distraught when she says, "I want Odysseus," and fucking Matt Damon tied to the pillow, and somebody get these beggars out of here. People keep making memes out of this movie. That's how big it is.
My favorite one has been so it's been a big one where it's like people want XYZ that's stupid, and they post the clip of Robert Pattinson going, "Somebody get these beggars out of here." But my favorite variation of that is someone posted that it said, when you're ordering pizza and your broke friend asks you to put some wings in the order, and if you just look at the video, it's that. It's the somebody get these beggars out of here. But if you unmute it, the audio's completely changed. It's the guy going, "Of course, bro. You're my friend. I got you."
God damn it.
It's so fucking funny.
I love it. It's like a Trojan horse of a meme.
I got you, bro. You're my friend. I'd also like to clarify a previous statement. I'd like to issue a correction. Supergirl is not their highest grossing movie. Wuthering Heights is.
Yeah, that movie made bank. I forgot about that.
Better, I guess.
$242 million worldwide. For the record, Warner Brothers' biggest movie made less money worldwide than the new Spider-Man movie made domestically in its opening weekend.
Bro, don't
Just
compare
saying.
to Spider-Man. That's unfair.
That is actually an objectively unfair comparison.
Compared to some like...
So what I'll say is that Spider-Man in its Thursday night previews made more money than Supergirl did in its entire domestic run.
Fuck a horse. Oh my god.
Well, I wouldn't fuck the horse in this movie.
No.
There was a horse in
It's
this
a big...
movie?
The Trojan.
The
big
Trojan
one,
horse?
right.
Motherfucker!
Wait,
Oh my god!
I was
Where do
trying
you
to
think we
remember,
are
like,
right now?
When are they riding horses?
Where's
But
the
there were also real
horse in
horses
the
Where's
Where's the horse in the Odyssey? There's
Austin,
no
holy
horses in
shit,
the
dude.
Odyssey.
They were also on horses at the beginning, riding towards the horse. It was like horseception. I couldn't remember. Real horses in here.
Get these horses out of here!
Horses out of here.
Fuck. One thing I gotta say, because I keep seeing people asking this on the VFX forum. So there is CGI in this. Andrew Jackson
yeah.
and his team at DNEG worked on this. So how are we getting the photochemical prints? So the answer is they're working at a really high resolution when they're doing the comps. And I always wondered what resolution. And the closest data we have on this is 6 years old. Andrew Jackson was talking about doing a comp for Tenet where there was a CG helicopter in there. And back in 2020, they were working in 6.5K. That was where they were like, okay, no one's going to notice this is CG. So by now, they might be working at a higher resolution, but that's like an objective thing he said, 6.5K to, laser the fucking CGI onto the IMAX print. There, do not post that on the VFX forum again and on fucking Reddit. Get out of here.
Yeah, obviously here's the thing, Nolan movies have CGI. He does try to avoid it, which I do think is a good instinct, though sometimes it's to his detriment. As much as I love Dunkirk, I think Dunkirk is an amazing movie. There's kind of a really funny shot in Dunkirk when they show the whole beach to try and show, look at how many men are lost at home. And I'm just like, this just looks like a beach on a not busy day.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do CGI cloning in the shot, which is a super simple thing for crowd shots.
It could be that it would have ballooned the budget, because, like, a lot of VFX company, like, Avengers Endgame, I think, was delivered in 2K. Like, a lot of the comps for that were delivered in 2K.
Yeah,
So
that might be something
imagine-
I can't appreciate. Endgame was shot on, Arial X 65s, I think.
Yeah, like some large format digital camera. Like
They're IMAX certified cameras, but, they're not IMAX cameras. There's a difference between IMAX certified and an actual IMAX camera.
Yeah. And so, trying to do a bunch of, crowd sim shots at 6.5K, for a whole giant movie, they might have just, not had the budget to do it. Also, I think in Oppenheimer, they legitimately didn't use any CG for the whole movie. That's, the one where the whole, the hype cycle never actually, they weren't covering it up that time.
I guarantee you there is invisible CGI in that movie somewhere.
Got it. Okay.
There has.
Yep.
I don't believe a movie made by a major studio nowadays truly has absolutely zero CGI. I just don't.
That's fair.
They CGI'd Florence Pugh straddling him on the table in the interview.
At least, in international markets, there's definitely effects works because, in India and Saudi Arabia, they put clothes on her.
That is a good point.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's not the version we saw, but
No.
still.
We got the good one.
I think it's funny that Anne Hathaway is only 13 years older than Tom Holland.
I liked her performance a ton. She was
No, she's great. I saw someone say, "Ooh, the fucking her performance is bad because the Botox froze her face. First off, no, I do not agree with that. If she is taking Botox treatment, she clearly took a break from it in order for her face to be fully flexible in this movie.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Celebrities get work done. Celebrities get Botox. Nicole Kidman, definitely the face does not look like that normally. And it's not hate. It's not hate. It's not hate. It just is.
Yep. There's a way her voice cracks when she gets upset, and she does it a lot in here, and I fucking loved it. That trick did not get old on me. It was like Joaquin Phoenix's weird laugh in the Joker movie. It was one of those things where I was like, she's selling this. She's selling this like fucking crazy. And I didn't like Tom Holland's performance. That's why I gave this a 9.5 instead of a 10, just for him. I didn't like him. He was bitch made. He was miscast.
How was he miscast?
He was too much of a punk. He was too useless. I did not believe that this guy came out of Odysseus's nutsack. There was no fucking way. There was no lineage.
I think the most common archetype of the world is awesome guy's son kinda sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we watched American Pop earlier this year. One of those guys sucked.
I think it was...
Awesome guy's son sucks is like a very common archetype, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess I was just, like, longing for the movie for him to do something where I thought it was either, like, cool and enjoyable or interesting, and I never got it. And then I see him at the end standing in that Prince costume, and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I got that on the beat where he realizes that this beggar he's been hanging out with is his father. I thought the way he played that scene was really remarkable. That restraint, but also that total joy, the trying not to cry. Fuck, that scene made me cry. I thought he played that beat really remarkably. Just that quiet relief. Like, sure, it's not over, but my dad's home. I thought that was really remarkable. I also love the part where after John Bernthal tells his story and it cuts back to Holland and he's crying and the way he looks. It just, I really loved his performance. I thought it worked for me. I think he's supposed to be a little bitch made, but like I don't even think you're really supposed to fully believe that, like, yeah, now he's ready to be king. Ithaca's not really a kingdom anymore. It's a town. Tom Holland hasn't really become king as much as he's become the mayor of a city of 10,000 people. He became the mayor of Chesterfield, effectively.
Good luck, Holland.
You just landed the plane like Denzel in Flight. That was great.
A job I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, mind you.
Oh my god.
Like, he's not the king of Ithaca. He's just... Ithaca isn't Ithaca anymore. That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
When he killed all those suitors, he killed, like, a large portion of the male population, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool, though.
So I think it works that he's not quite ready because there was nothing for him to be ready for. The Bronze Age is collapsing. Someone complained about that line. I'll be honest, I thought that was the right kind of cutesy. I was like...
Yeah.
You.
It wouldn't have the same punch if he was like, Mycenae is collapsing, or whatever the actual period accurate term is.
Yeah. I also really like the... I have always felt like... Some people have felt, not me, but I've read that some people have always kind of interpreted that in Homer's The Odyssey, it's implied that Odysseus and his crew are the sea people. I do like that it's made explicit here that when they broke Zeus's law originally by doing the Trojan horse, that it led to the complete and total downfall of society. Much like Oppenheimer building the bomb. Nolan is really fascinated by being chased by guilt. It's interesting. Nolan has made how many movies now where a guy desperately tries to get back home to his wife and children, or at least his children, after he goes off to do something big, important, and expensive, and he feels really guilty about it sometimes. Chris, man, nobody's fucking making you make movies. You can stop.
No,
Nobody's forcing you to do this.
Tanner, let me tell you, he just like me for real.
Yeah, sorry. How many times do I complain about all the things I'm doing? I'm like, I'm so tired all the time. Can't wait for the next one.
His family's there. They were on set.
That's the
He's
other
got
thing.
kids working on set.
Wife is his co-producer. That's the thing that really doesn't work about it.
His family is there, including his kids. They had like positions in the camera department.
I'll also say in Oppenheimer, I kind of half jokingly, half serious made a read at it that it's about Nolan making The Dark Knight. I think that's just a funny interpretation to have. I don't think it has that much meat to it. I don't think Nolan's ashamed of any of his work. I've seen people try to apply that same reading and say, see, between Oppenheimer and the Odyssey, Nolan regrets making The Dark Knight. And I'm just like, I think he is saying something about how exhausting filmmaking is. I don't think he's saying specifically, I ruined cinema by legitimizing Batman. I don't think he's saying that. Because he doesn't feel that way. Nolan has praised Marvel movies before. In the very limited, I will say, in the very limited scope of, he has said multiple times that No Way Home and some of the other Marvel movies in 2021 saved movie theaters. Which I do agree with, that the Marvel movies and Top Gun Maverick is what I think helped prove that you could still make a lot of money in theaters.
I do know that, like, he usually tries to avoid questions about superhero stuff. He's just like, nope, you're not going to get your headline from this whatever comment I make.
Yeah, I believe the Marvel movie comment he made actually apropos of nothing. I think it was in an unrelated thing about movie theaters.
Yeah.
And I think his exact words were, thank God for Marvel movies. Cody, you haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, what's up, man? I don't know.
You said you'd have more to say.
Ooh, did I? Ooh.
We ought to see what Cody has to say.
We ought to
Yeah, we ought to see.
Oh!
Dude, this movie's fucking awesome, man. That's all I want to say.
I saw a tweet the other day that said the reason they have Benny Safdie and all that armor is because if you saw Benny Safdie in real life, he's kind of like the epitome of that guy with a lollipop and a propeller hat.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And, like, yeah, Agamemnon just comes in, gives aura, and leaves.
And he's fucking awesome.
I do love the one shot where you do briefly see Benny Safdie's face, because I'm not going to lie, he is kind of giving propeller hat in that bed.
Aw, damn.
Yeah.
Giving propeller.
But, like, that one shot where they bust the doors open, he just walks in. Like, I saw somebody else going, like, that's a Darth Vader walk. And it is. It's absolutely a fucking Darth Vader walk.
Fun fact, Chris Nolan hid this from Matt Damon. Matt Damon didn't know a bunch of people were going to start running in after Agumon.
Agumon!
Yes!
Agumon, did you fall?
I'm trying my best. I'm trying so fucking hard. I'm not from fucking ancient Greece. I wasn't at the Bronze Age. I wasn't at the Silver Age. I wasn't at the Gold Age. I'm at the fucking shit yourself and die age. Alright? I'm trying my fucking best. There's not any fucking children named Tittymon or whatever Tom Holland's character is. There's not any characters named Augie or whatever the fuck Benny Safdie is. Alright? You know what I understand? I understand Odysseus. I understand Penelope. I understand Helen of Troy. What the fuck is John Bernthal's character's name? Can you tell me, without looking it up, what the fuck is John Bernthal's character called? And while you're at it, it's a feminine nomenon. Beat it up like Papa John.
Tanner, I can see your waveform right now. Please.
Sorry, the way you said that just made me think of The Matrix. He's beginning to believe.
Jesus Christ.
Try my fucking best, man.
No, that right. Just the fact it accidentally was a Digimon was the only reason. Normally, like, who cares, you know? Did
He's
you
got
know the
pants
Italians fucked these people over? They fucked over production, like, super duper hard.
That sounds right.
So get this, Odysseus' place in Ithaca was shot at St. Catherine's Castle, Favignana, Sicily. Mind you, they wanted to build some fake shit on top of the real place so it looked like, you know, like a big-ass place. Fake walls, stuff adhered to the structure. Italy's Ministry of Culture gave them permission to build fake shit on this ancient castle, but they denied their request to build an access road to the set, to the high-ass location. So, because of this garbage nonsense from Alejandro fucking Yili's people, they had to construct a funicular lift to fucking get their shit to set, and they had to use a bunch of helicopters to get, like, the techno crane up there. Everybody else, not on the lift, not on the helicopter, 45-minute walk each direction. 900 feet. Can you imagine hiking to set and it's 900 feet each fucking way? Yeah, Italy fucked over the production here. I cannot imagine. It's like, oh yeah, build shit on top of the ancient castle, but no road. No road up there. It ruins the image. Like, what the fuck?
Some other fun facts. They used 2.1 million feet of film during the production of this movie. That's longer than the distance between Toronto and New York.
We gotta start going by miles now, or kilometers. We can't use feet anymore, clearly.
And another one is fun fact. Robert Downey Jr. was offered a part in this movie. He was actually specifically offered the part of the ocean god Poseidon. He turned it down. He turned him down. He said, Chris, I love you. You helped me win an Oscar. And I appreciate you offering me the role of Poseidon. But Disney is going to give me $100 million if I talk in an Eastern European accent and wear a mask, so I'm going to have to go do that.
9 figures or Poseidon?
Yeah, it was literally he turned it down to do Doomsday.
It would be so funny if there was, like, because Athena is, like, you know, this thing that only Odysseus could see. It would be funny if there was one god that's portrayed as, like, this giant person in the clouds.
I can only imagine that Downey Jr. Yeah, if Downey Jr. was offered that part, because when I understand when Nolan first started writing this, I believe he did originally intend for there to be scenes with the gods themselves, and then he changed his mind. I wonder if Downey was offered that part during that version, and I wonder if Downey turning that down made him go, no God.
I mean, just imagine, like, right after the Cyclops scene, they cut, and you see Robert Downey Jr. up in the clouds, like, that was a bad move, bucko. And then just,
he's up in the crowds, and he goes, the truth is, I am Poseidon. I have to say, this movie is fucking funny. I think the funniest line to Matt Damon for most of the movie is not talking in his normal voice. He's kind of putting on this like epic accent a little bit, with one key exception. When they go to that island and they can't get out because the winds are pushing too far the other direction, and Matt Damon keeps telling them, if you eat those fucking cattle, you're gonna fucking die. And when he goes over there and he discovers them, the way he says, do you think if you did it quietly, the sun goddess wouldn't notice? He says it in his normal voice, in the almost Boston accent. It's so fucking funny.
I specifically love that scene, because if you look at the soldiers, they look back at Matt Damon like they're puppies that got into the fucking treat bowl.
Dude, they're definitely giving the look of, uh-oh.
It's like, oh no, we should be worried about Odysseus, not the sun god, but Odysseus, because he's
Daddy
mad now.
caught us, oh no.
Daddy caught us. Now we gotta go to sea and die.
I wonder actually if Robert Downey Jr.'s Poseidon would have shown up right after that sequence when he's like, all right, you got me. I fucked up. Please don't kill me. And if like, what if like Poseidon goes, he's just fucking, it's literally Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man outfit, fucking grabbing Odysseus and taking him to the fucking lotus flower beach.
All right, kid, time out.
Calypso, I got a delivery. You're not Tom Holland.
One shot I also thought was funny was the Lystragonians just chopping the boat, like at the shore. They're just like, fuck you in particular. They're just chopping the boat into pieces. It was just so over the top. I loved it.
I do kind of really love the giant sequence when it's like, we're fucked. We are so fucked. That is the most where I feel like there's a guy in their army going, fuck, 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 fuck.
That is my favorite. This movie is just Odysseus going through an entire journey of fucking around and finding out, but that is the most fucking around, because at least with like the Cyclops, they get out relatively, I mean not unscathed, but like they get out all right, until he decides to take a pot shot at the end. It's like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that shit. But once they go to that forest and that little girl screams and they come out, there's I don't think a single one of them goes down. I think they just
Fun fact, that shot of the giants coming out of the fog towards the normal men was achieved practically.
And it looks
They
beautiful.
cast a bunch of actors that are well over 6 feet tall. And then they cast a bunch of short actors to be body doubles, and then they did a little Lord of the Ring camera trick with it. It's awesome.
I think I read that they got some 5 foot tall women in the armor.
Yeah. No, pretty much exactly like that. Which, speaking of, fun fact, Matt Damon's stunt double in this movie is a woman.
I read something. There's a famous shot going around with the marketing where Matt Damon has huge biceps, and
That's the woman.
Yeah, that's a lady's biceps. The one in that epic shot of him with the Lystrogonians.
That's really funny.
I will say that some of the shots of the Cyclops remind me. You know that famous painting of Saturn devouring his son? I think it's literally called that.
From Goya,
yeah, like the
the
intention
black
of all
Yeah.
paintings.
Apparently, it looked like that, and apparently it's because Christopher Nolan was explicitly inspired by the visuals of that painting.
Sure.
I don't know.
Filmmakers are inspired by more than just other movies. They're inspired by other works of art.
I don't know. I loudly shouted during that scene that he was copying Backrooms, and a bunch of people looked at me, but I was right.
This is just like what Chul tell Ejiofor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm Odysseus.
Keanu Reeves Odyssey.
From the heart.
Say, hold on. Who gets home faster, Odysseus or John Wick?
What? Oh.
If you put John Wick in this scenario, is he getting home faster than Odysseus did?
Does he have guns?
Yeah. That's the big
Yes,
difference.
he has his guns.
Oh, he's getting there. He's getting there.
Just
In like a week.
Yeah.
just imagine.
He's gonna die as soon as he gets home, but
Can John Wick survive the Odyssey? Is a great YouTube thumbnail.
Also, one other thing I wanted to say: when Penoble's like to Odysseus, "Don't die now," he goes, "Not death, exile." And all I could think of was the fucking Scarecrow in The Dark Knight Rises going, "Death or exile!"
yeah.
Apparently, for the Cyclops scene, they 3D printed little, gelatin people with fake skeletons and little blood bags in there for Bill Irwin to chew on. So, there's plate footage somewhere of that guy from The Grinch just chopping into a little guy with, blood and bones inside. I gotta get me some of those. Serve them at, Halloween time. It's just little people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it.
great stuff. Great stuff. Anything else? I think we should wrap up soon, for Tim's sake.
Okay.
We're good.
Cody, final thoughts on The Odyssey.
Final thoughts on the Odyssey. It was an awesome movie with awesome visuals and awesome score. I can't wait to get a nice Blu-ray copy whenever that comes out and watch it all over again.
Tim, final thoughts on The Odyssey.
The Odyssey is a good movie. It's excellent epic from Christopher Nolan. I don't know how he's gonna top this in scale. I don't know if he needs to top this in scale. He just needs to keep making good movies and also spend time with his wife. It is crazy that he spent so long in PG-13 movie land, and then they let him make an R-rated movie, and it fucking... Did it ever break $1 billion, or did it just get to 900 million?
Oppenheimer got to 980.
That's what I thought. And so then you're like, yeah, all right, I can make an R-rated movie, and it can make fucking bank in IMAX. Nolan might be the one filmmaker who could make a big budget NC-17 movie and have it sell out. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it could.
Nor do I think he should, because what the fuck does NC-17 Nolan look like?
We'll find out.
Finally does a
Showgirls
sex
remake.
scene.
That's right.
Oh, God.
He
This
does
one-
Blood Meridian.
Showgirls 2,
Blood
shot
Red-
entirely in IMAX. We developed an IMAX camera that can go inside a woman's vagina.
But yeah, I'm down for whatever Nolan does from here. He's proven that he can pretty much do whatever big scale movie he wants, and I'm here for what he's got next. Back to Tanner.
I don't know why, but the thought popped in my head of Nolan coming out and saying, for my next movie, I'm finally making a follow-up to The Dark Knight Rises about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. Which would be the dumbest fucking thing in the world. I don't know why that popped to mind. I'm finally getting my Robin movie, boys. I like your real name, Robin. Fuck you, Chris Nolan. That was stupid. Austin, final thoughts on the Odyssey.
It's very rare that I envy anything about today's kids. They've got global warming, worse job market, dating pools, all fucked up. But I tell you what, could you imagine watching anything this fucking dope in English class? This movie makes Romeo and Juliet look like Paw Patrol. I can't wait for the fucking PG-rated educational version of this, where the only thing they cut is Matt Damon saying 10 years on this fucking beach, but leave all the violence in. Yeah, it's an absolute classic. Cheers to Chris Nolan for helping keep cinema alive and breathing. If you start right now, you might be able to book IMAX tickets for next month. It's worth it. Trust me. Yeah.
Great stuff, great stuff. Yeah. You ought to see this movie.
Man.
But you know what else you ought to see?
What's that?
You, the person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms we're on, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down below and leave us a review? It helps boost us in the algorithm or something. I don't know. I just work here. And if you are wanting to give us money, how about you head on over to our Patreon, where the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you a special shout out at the end of episodes. So special thanks, my mom, Tiny Craft. We really appreciate you for contributing to the channel. And if you are not done giving us money, how about you mosey on down over to our merch shop? That's right, they got merch now. BombSquadProductions.shop. Posters, shirt, Cody's wearing one, hoodies, magnets, all kinds of goodies. Go ahead and buy some stuff. It helps contribute to our dreams. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Go on down to the comment section below and let me know, what's your favorite Sword and Sandals epic movie? What's your thoughts on the Odyssey? What's your favorite Chris Nolan movie? What is your favorite scene in the Odyssey? And finally, 9/11 time loop movie. You down? Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in next week when we talk about...
Yeah, so we were gonna do an episode on Evil Dead Bird, but I didn't like that movie, and I don't really want to talk about it. So instead, we're gonna talk about John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Let's escape together, baby!
Yeah, Austin, sorry we made you watch that and then go, actually, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
it.
I'm
I
excited
didn't-
to rep STL.
Yeah,
Austin
exactly.
watched it on his birthday. Evil Dead Bird. The
I
poor
didn't-
boy.
I didn't tell him to do that.
Yeah, I had an okay time.
I have the evidence that said you told him to do that right here.
Oh no.
It's gonna sound loud as shit on the waveform.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. It should be a lot of fun. Bye.
Farewell.
Giving it all up for that Odyssey.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl.